What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Yanks of the Cup here for the post-match reactions of Liverpool's thrashing of Leicester City 3-0. I'm your host, Steven, alongside my main lads, Andrew and Wahomie, and we are bringing back recurring guest, Sophie, for this awesome episode. Thanks for coming back, Sophie. How are you?
Guys.
You're welcome back.
Quickly. I feel like this is the quickest recurring guest we've ever had. I think it's been like 2 weeks, not even.
The last match, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Where was it?
It was last week, wasn't it? Jeez, okay. Well, glad to have you back. I think it was an awesome game for your boy, Gini Wijnaldum. But Sophie, why don't you kick us off? What did you think of the starting lineup, obviously, with all the injuries? Yeah, pretty limited in the selection. So when you saw that lineup and that team sheet, what did you think?
Do you know what? I was really happy with the lineup. First things first, I was made up seeing that 4-3-3 back. We know from last time when we were on here, I hated that 4-2-2-2, 4-2-3-4, whatever they decided to play, I hated it. And I was made up seeing our original lineup back, front three, fine with. And I'm happy that he went with Milner at right back. I know last time when we talked about what possible things we could come up, I think it was Wahomie. It was like, I don't want Milner at right back. He's not quick enough. Well, how did that go? How did that go? Because he was fantastic. So I think, the lads really reacted well to the changes. We were missing 6 of our key starting players out. Salah was out with COVID. The rest are out with injury. You've got those young lads in the starting lineup. Jones slotted right in. Do you know what? Considering the injury list we've got going on, I don't think Klopp could have put together a better lineup than what he did. Limited players, but no, I was made up with it.
Yeah. I mean, I completely agree. Unbelievable result for the team, but I mean, Wahomie, I'll give you a chance to respond here. I mean, what did you think of the starting lineup?
He's coming at you, Wahomie.
James Miller's performance.
I was dying to say that,
I think we normally said it was Nico Williams at right back. We debated
I said Nico Williams should get a shot, and he did.
We debated between Milner and Firmino at right back. That's what it was. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
No, I will go back later and I will find that section of that clip where one of you turns round and says that Milner's not quick enough to keep up with Vardy. I'll find it.
I watched that again. I don't remember that. Okay. Maybe I did say that, but then if I did have my hands up and I said I got it wrong.
I was right. Thank you. Admit it. I was right.
It's all on YouTube, Wahomie. You can't run away from it.
Yeah, he was outstanding last night. I thought, I think the first 5 minutes, he's up there. I think the right back, left back was can't remember his name, left back. He looked quite decent with Albrighton down that side.
They're right back or left back?
The one who,
is it Justin who's left back?
Justin, yeah, I think it was him.
Was on Robbo's side.
Yeah, I think it was him. Yeah, he looked in the first 5 minutes looked as if they were trying to double up Milner, but then afterwards he just locked down that side and they offered nothing. I thought the lineup as well. I thought that was the best one. I put out before that. That's what I expected. I wanted him Klopp to play. I thought this was a game where I thought that next to Keita and Wijnaldum, that Jones could do well in terms of holding possession and linking up play. And I thought he was outstanding yesterday. I've not been his biggest fan in the past, but I'm glad you're proven wrong. That he's actually coming through. He's showing that he actually is a Liverpool player, which is good. And I also thought Robert was outstanding. I thought he's probably been
he was really good.
He's probably not arguably our best player this season, in terms of consistency, in terms of the fact that he's doing it every week. Even though he's supposed to nearly had a hamstring injury during the week, for him to come out and put in that performance, I thought he was outstanding. I thought Bobby was outstanding.
Yes.
I was nearly going to cry when he hit the post and didn't score. I was thinking, this guy's got no luck. But in terms of his link-up play, pressing, it was all Bobby.
Did you see the goal line technology shot? Where it was millimeters.
That brought back PTSD from City.
Unbelievable.
That brought back memories.
I was like, he's not going to score now. He's not going to score for the whole season.
Because I predicted again. I said Bobby's going to score today. I said,
yeah, you were finally right.
Yeah, I said Leicester. Bobby always turns up. When I got loads of slats, I got slated for it by so many people. during the week saying Bobby's off, he's not going to score, he's been rubbish and stuff. And I was like, no, Leicester's a team he always scores against. So when he scored, I was just happy because like he looked like it's been so long since I've seen that Bobby smile, like where he was just like the celebration, everything. And
it's infectious.
You can see how in the team, the rest of the team were like so happy about it.
It's like when you watch the team's reaction to when Bobby scored, like the relief that Bobby felt, and the fact that every one of those lads on that pitch were around him, you know how much that meant to him, because he's probably been in his head, like,
definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
But I said previously to one of my mates on Twitter, like, Bobby's suffering without the fans, I think. I think that's what his problem is, because he
misses the song.
And the song, he's had it from day one. You know, see Senor coming out the cop, and I think he's missing that more than any other player on the pitch.
Yeah, I agree with that. I heard that on Klopps yesterday. They were talking about that he misses the fans, and I thought that was a good point. Like, I think he is needing that fans' love behind him, and just definitely pushing forward when he's having one of those bad days. I think a lot of fans on social media have got on his back and being totally unfair to him, and that's probably not helped, because if he does look at social media stuff, then he's going to see people saying sell him, get rid of him, just talking absolute nonsense. So I felt sorry for Naby though. I feel like that guy's getting no luck. Like he had a really good game, and then as soon as he went down,
he did.
As soon as he went down, I was like, that's just typical Naby, you know.
It's ridiculous.
Like, Schmeichel when Schmeichel had the ball, when they passed it back, and he literally ran from like the right side of the pitch right across, and he would not let up on that ball. And it's just so unfortunate that Naby.
I mean, at what point do you have to give blame to the national teams? I mean, he played, what was it, 2 or 3 games? He played 90 minutes for Gini. It's that's ridiculous. And he's just coming back from injury, and he's always injury prone anyway. He shouldn't have to go through that. I know he's probably their best player, but it's just tough when you have that international break. But just to kind of piggyback off what you guys were saying, I thought definitely the most complete performance we saw from Bobby Firmino. And that end of that celebration, he hugs Robbo. He's walking away, and he just looks over to Klopp and just gives like a fist pump. And it's just like, I almost started bawling. I was just like, wow, that's just started crying right now. But other than that, I mean, the big standouts for me were the midfield. It was definitely Curtis Jones. I thought had an unbelievable game, and he's starting to show some maturity in the center of the park there. Naby, I thought, was fantastic, obviously, until he went down. And even when he did go down, James Milner just slotted right in like he was playing there the whole game. It was very, very impressive for a 33-year-old man. It's just like ridiculous. But for me,
thank you.
Is he 34? Okay, well, there you go. I stand corrected. But for me, I mean, Gini Wijnaldum just held those two together. You know, the midfield didn't give Leicester time to breathe. You know, there wasn't much service to Vardy pretty much throughout the game. I mean, part of that's down to the center backs, but I think most of it's down to our midfield. And I mean, just hats off to those guys. They deserve every plaud. And anybody who's saying you need to sell Gini Wijnaldum, you got to keep him. I'm glad we threw some money at him, right? We threw a contract to him.
No, the last time James Pearson we spoke to him was in the summer. There's never been no further contract talks.
I thought there's been rumors recently that they were trying.
That's all lies. That's all lies.
That's why we have you on the show, man. That's why we have you on the show.
That started from the LFC Andrew guy, LFC Daily. He makes up tweets.
Okay.
He made up Gazinka was going for medical. He made up that Gini signed a 5-year contract in the summer. It's all coming from him. He's a troll account.
Okay. Well, I'll look out for him in the future, but we got to hold on to this guy. I don't think he's replaceable. I think he can have the same impact as James Milner for the next 4 years. So we'll see. Yeah,
it would be sad for him to go, but I have a feeling that he probably will go because I don't think they're going to go unless he takes a 2-year contract, which is the sticking point. He wants 4 years, which is fair enough because it's obviously his last big contract. He ain't going to sign a new contract with 2 years. An FSG aren't going to give more than.
But why would you want to join Barcelona? I mean, that's such a project now. Step down. Messi's probably going to leave.
Yeah.
The reason I think Gini probably might want to go is because and I know everybody says it every time international duty comes around, just look at how different he plays for the Netherlands.
Yeah. Just
look at it, and you watch him play. I mean, I don't watch the Euros and I don't watch the internationals because I couldn't care less.
I'm exactly the same.
I couldn't care less, but you watch the clips of him play it and you watch him score, and there's a different brightness, there's a different light behind him. Like, he seems to thrive on it, that position, that role he plays in the Dutch team so much more than in Liverpool. And I think, if anything, if he's not going to stay with us, he'll go somewhere where he can play like that.
That's a good point.
I don't think he'd go to Barcelona. I think he might go back to the Dutch league, to be honest.
Interesting.
You know, they play similar football to the way Gini plays for the Dutch national team. I can't see him going to Barcelona, because who the hell wants to go to Barcelona anymore?
He schemes with Juventus type by game on a free transfer. They always get the
those
best
bastards. Oh god.
Yeah. It used to be like that. They'll pay him high wages and they'll get him in a free transfer kind of thing.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be the next Emre Can, you know?
It's the MO. They always get the best.
I don't think he
players.
would be. Even if he went to Juve on a free transfer, I don't think anybody would think of him the way we did with Emre Can. I don't think. No, because Gini's so loved, and the other one was just a snake.
Yeah.
Is he so loved though? He got so much stick over the summer. You know, everybody's saying, "Oh, get rid of Wijnaldum, get rid of Wijnaldum."
But do you not see that pattern that goes on constantly whenever a player's not performing or they're down to a contract? It's like fans. We are a very irrational fan base because we're so emotional about everything. We're so reactionary, and I think they try to rationalize it in their head that one of our favorite players may go, so we're going to make it like he's absolutely awful, so it doesn't hurt as much. Because last summer,
no, it's true. It's like
a song.
We could have like a psychology session or something around our fan base. They could just tear us apart.
I think I also want to give a shout out to that Firmino. I saw a stat. I think that he's played 5 games at centre back, had not lost 1 game, and had 3 clean sheets. I think it's 4 clean sheets now.
I think he had 1 goal scored against him while he was playing, and he scored the goal. It was an own goal.
And he's marked out Lewandowski, Aubameyang, Vardy, Werner, all out of the game, pocketing them. And they had zero attempt on goal. Like I said yesterday, he's up there with the top 4 centre backs in the Premiership now.
He's brilliant. I don't think anyone can actually fault Fabinho's performances. At the end of the day, we know he's not a centre back. Yes, he's played there for Brazil. Yes, he's played there for Monaco, but he's not a centre back. He's a CDM. And no, he's not got the centre-back qualities per se, but he uses his skills from midfield and the reading of the game to apply it to that role. And he's just unstoppable. And I think he's confident in what he's doing. So the entire back line is then up their confidence and up the game. And I think that shows the mentality that's been instilled in our lads. And, before this game, everybody wrote us off completely. It was Leicester were going to wipe the floor with us. Liverpool are having an injury crisis. They're not going to win the league. They're going to be awful. They've literally written us off as a dog that's lost its bite. And we've come in with 6 key players missing.
Clean sheet.
2 midfielders in our defensive back line. And we've absolutely made Leicester, one of the most informed teams in the Premier League this season, look like a championship team. We absolutely decimated them. And I'm just
feels good.
Gary Neville was saying on Sky Sports it's going to be between Tottenham and Chelsea for the title before the Leicester game. And I was like, is he having a laugh?
He just loves being wrong.
He stated saying that Leicester are going to beat Liverpool, and that's going to be. He said it's going to be reunion between Lampard for the title, and I was like, is he having a laugh?
You drunk?
Lampard beat Newcastle, Burnley, and Brighton was the 3rd team. It's just they haven't really been tested. They lost to us. They tied United and they tied City as well, right, or someone like that. But it's not a tough schedule up ahead. Well, homie, you were tweeting about that earlier.
Yeah, Tottenham and Chelsea's schedules ahead is nightmarish. So for them to say they're going to win the title, we have to see how they do against those because they've got some tough games coming up.
Chelsea in the Champions League, or are they in Europa again this year?
Chelsea in Champions League.
Champions
League this year. I wasn't sure because I know Tottenham are in.
Tottenham Europa
League.
Europe.
Yeah.
But when you think about the fixtures that are going to come up, I don't really think Chelsea have been tested injury-wise like other teams have this season so far. I think they've been quite lucky.
Chelsea probably have because they had that Pulisic, Ziyech, and a few other ones injured for a bit.
Thiago Silva was injured for a little bit. Chilwell was injured for a little bit.
Yeah, they've had it. Tottenham haven't.
It was all at the beginning of the season. All their injuries were the first 3 or 4 games of the season when they lost theirs. But Now, going back to the game, one of the things I wanted to talk about was the fluidity.
Thanks for bringing us back.
Yeah, that's my job. I have to reel us back in sometimes. But no, I thought the front three, the fluidity was incredible. All three of them were just moving so well in and out of each other. That was the best link up I've seen from Bobby in a very long time. And we created a ton of chances leading up to that own goal from Johnny Evans. I thought we could have easily scored a few more if we were a little bit more clinical. I mean, what are your guys' thoughts on overall the front three play? But then also just, again, this is another game where we're not exactly as, as clinical as we want to be.
I'm just going to jump in there. So I completely agree with you. We weren't as clinical because I think when you look at the stats, I think it was 6 out of 7 big chances we missed. And I know Schmeichel was absolutely on form and some of his saves were, you can't fault him. They were fantastic. He's just like his dad. But I think we weren't as clinical in the final third. Again, it was a very organised game. It was a very neat and professional game, but it wasn't necessarily taking your chances. I think if we look at Mane's attempt, you got a lovely weighted pass from Milner once in the midfield to him. Absolutely beautiful pass right through Leicester's defence. But then you watch Mane, his first touch, he takes a bad first touch, has to turn his body around the ball, and then it takes it too close to the near post. And any keeper's going to save that any day of the week on your near post like that. And I think that's what's missing with the lads at the minute. It's that final clinical decision in that final third, right on goal. The work rate up to there is outstanding. And then it's a dodgy touch or you're too quick or, someone's behind the ball, a cross is too heavy. It's just something's not connecting there still. And we're missing those big chances.
I thought Mane should have passed to Jota instead. It should have put him through. Could it have been tapping for him rather than shooting? Because I thought, because even Jota was running through the middle, he was like, even said to Mane, why don't you pass? But yeah, I think as well, I do agree with that. I think we're not clinical enough because it could have been 5 or 6-0 yesterday, and that would have flattered Leicester. And I felt as well I thought that Mane's work rate was outstanding yesterday. But I just think sometimes his finishing, he had those days when it's not working for him, and I thought yesterday was one of them in terms of finishing field where I thought he should have scored at least one of those chances and he should have passed. But I think it will come. I think the stage of the season, they played a lot of games. They're still working their way into their matches. Mm-hmm. So I think it will come the clinical side. So it's nothing really to worry about at this time. As long as the goals have been shared around, then teams aren't going to be able to handle us. To be honest, especially now Bobby's hopefully back to his best. Fingers crossed. That's wake him up. They're not going to be able to handle us. That fluidity, the work rate, the pressing, it's just going to be too much of them. Especially when you add Salah back into that as well.
Yeah.
The fact that we can. A year ago, we were thinking, okay, we're going to have to play Origi in the wing, and we just looked totally dysfunctional.
Thank God we're not there anymore.
Yeah, now we've got Jota, Salah, Mane, Firmino. They all interchange. And that's frightening. We go back to the time when we had the front four: Coutinho, Salah, Mane, Firmino. Now we've got that, but much more, I think, structurally, defensively stronger in the front four, work rate than we had Coutinho. So, I'm excited. I think they're only going to get better.
Yeah, I think that one of the most impressive things with this front three, I guess you could call it a front four now, with Jota included, compared to the rest of the league, these guys, I feel just work so much harder on both sides of the ball, especially on the defensive side. I mean, you're seeing Sadio Mane track back almost all the way to the corner flag to help out Robertson in certain situations. You're seeing the same thing with Jota. And even Firmino, obviously, we know he always comes back and helps out in the defensive end. He's the first line of defense for us. So, I mean, that's one of the most impressive things that I've seen out of these guys. So, I mean, I'm not going to fault them for missing some chances. I mean, I'm just looking at the stats right now. We had 24 total shots, 13 shots on target, 7 big chances. So, I mean, we still put 3 in the back of the net. So I'm not going to hate them for any of that. But I do want to say that on that second goal, one thing that stood out for me, Jota's goal, I was watching the game back today, and it didn't seem like there was anything there. There didn't seem like anything was going on. We were just passing it from one wing back to the center back to the right wing back and just going back and forth with the midfielders getting the ball sporadically. And then all of a sudden, Curtis Jones gets the ball. He looks up and sprays the ball, switches the field to Andy Robertson, beats one man, crosses it, and Jota comes out of nowhere and scores with a header. And I was thinking about that, and I was saying to myself, when Thiago Alcantara joins this team, it is going to be like revolutionary, because he's going to do that day in and day out. Every single time he gets the ball, he's going to look up and look for those corners. He's going to look for Trent. He's going to look for Robertson, Mo, Sadio, whoever it is. And it's just the fluidity that this team's going to have when he is finally able to start or be on the pitch is just going to be remarkable. I mean, we haven't even hit our stride yet. That's scary.
And I think that's a bit of a testament, isn't it, to like the recruitment that our club's doing at the minute. You know, there's a lot of, you know, things that get said around about Michael Edwards and Klopp and not buying players and windows. And I think where we're at now already early into the season, I think a lot of people forget that technically we're still only in October season-wise. We started late.
Yeah.
And I think where we are now is just highlighting how incredibly detailed our recruitment team is. Because look, we signed 2 players that, you know, weren't really on Jota was on no one's radar at all. And look at the impact he's had in this team.
Yeah, so true.
I was saying last night watching it, when Minamino came on, I forget we've got him. And I was so excited when we signed Minamino, and I went, do you think he sits there and gets a bit annoyed that, you know, Jota and Thiago have just been signed up and have walked right into the team ahead of him, and Curtis Jones, this, you know, 19-year-old, getting played ahead of him? And then I thought, well, that really just set the bar of what is expected to qualify to get in that starting lineup now. And I completely agree. Once Thiago comes back, God, I can't wait to see that midfield. You know, when he's
seriously. I'm so excited. I hope he plays against Brighton and just, I mean, I'll feel bad for Lallana, but other than that,
I won't.
Tears it to pieces.
You know, I will say, just on the last topic of like injuries and stuff, is, you know, we're talking about Thiago coming back and how amazing that's going to feel. But just think what this team will be like, and I said it yesterday, when all of our lads are back. You know, come April, May, when Virgil's back and Gomez is back, Trent has been well back by then, Ox is back in training. You know,
Henderson, yeah.
Imagine what this team will be. And if we're frightening teams like Leicester, and, you know, we're making teams like City and United and Chelsea and Tottenham, they're all kind of sitting there, you know, like a bit worried now, going, oh my God, Liverpool are injured and they're still doing this amazing football. God help you when everyone's back, because seriously, you ain't got a chance in hell, have you?
Well, that was kind of my point with our interview with James Pearce. I don't know if you saw it, Sophie, or not, but I had asked him what his thoughts were on Naby Keita, and once all those guys are fit, I mean, if this kind of stuff keeps happening to him, what do you cut your losses at the end of this season? Do you sell him in the summer? I mean, James was saying that we definitely take a cut there, because he's not going to be worth the 55 million or whatever it was that we originally paid for him. So I think he's still young, so I think you keep him, but he just has to figure it out. I don't know if it's down to our physios or what it is, but I was joking on Twitter the other day, who's more reliable, Joel Matip or Naby Keita? And I'm not sure who it is, to be honest. It's frustrating, because every time he seems to play well when he comes in, and he just ends up seeing the sidelines again.
See, that's how I feel about Shaq.
Same thing.
Exactly how I feel about Shaqiri. You know, when we signed,
we didn't spend 50 million on Shaqiri.
No, I know we didn't, but, you know, Shaqiri came in with these, you know, his first game smacking in a bicycle kick. Like, he was absolutely everything we needed at the time. And then it was injury, muscle injury. If you look at his injury record, it reads as a who's who of medical encyclopedia. It is pathetic, really, for a professional footballer to have that many injuries and not play.
Yeah.
You know, he played in the internationals again, you know, just like Naby Keita did, and he's come back injured. And, you know, Klopp said no one knew about the injury. Shaq didn't know about the injury. Well, I'm surprised you didn't, because he's always been injured. You know, you just want to walk around with a first aid bag attached to him. And I feel like we're at a point now where, me personally, I just cut my ties with Shaq. Because
I think
make jokes that he's in the basement. He can just go and stay in the basement where I can say, I'm sorry, I love him as a player, but in regards to fitness-wise, he's not cutting it. And no, sell him. I'm going to get so much hate for that.
I think we come down to the biggest commodities, durability. And I think we have to be realistic in the summer and think like, we probably kept Lallana, Sturridge too long. We should cut lost with them like before. Even Lovren, we probably kept him for too long. We should cut him, lost maybe a year or two before. And I think we have to be honest this summer and say, look, like give them to the end of the season, but actually look and say, look, take stock of Keita, Ox, Shaq, and even Matic and say, look, are these players durable because for us going forward? Because if they're not on the pitch, there's no point. You can be a great asset, but you're not on you've never played or never actually played, then what's the point of having you? So, you know, we need players that are actually going to be fit for us. And especially if we're going to lose Gini, we're going to need someone to come in and replace Gini. So we can't, you know, I saw someone say maybe like our replacement is Keita for Gini. And I was like, no, it's not, because Keita's never fit. So we can't look at Keita or Ox to replace Gini because they're never fit. So we need people who are going to be able to actually finish 90 minutes regularly, do that for at least 6 months, 90 minutes, you know. And we're going to have to cut our losses, especially next summer. I think there's only so much before their value just decreases really bigly. I still think you could get like 30 million for Ox because it's English and someone will pay it. Keita,
30 million for Ox.
Yeah, because I think it's English. He's English international. Someone will pay 30 million.
He doesn't play for England. He doesn't play for England.
Oh, we'll sell him to Bournemouth.
I think in the summer Southampton were linked with like 26 million for him, but we said no.
Southampton on a buyback clause because we get everybody from Southampton.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Turn the favor.
Yeah.
We'll get at least 20 million for him, 20 to 30 million for Ox. I think.
You know what? I wouldn't put it past Michael Edwards. He'd sell him for a pack of Watsits or something. Well,
United went for 20 million. You know, we got 8 million for Hover, who's never played football for senior team. So Edwards can get gold from a stone. So I was surprised if he gets 20 million for Keita because he's still rated back in Germany by the German teams. They still rate him highly. I think. Yeah,
I heard someone said that Dortmund wanted him or was interested in him.
Yeah, Dortmund and Bayern Munich asked for him in the summer, but he said no. So I think like if Keita goes back to Germany, he'll do like an Ingis and actually start playing more because Keita's body's not suitable to English football. He can't hack it. I think that's his issue. Germany's much more slower.
What about like Klopps? Do you think it comes down to Klopps' system?
I think so as well. I think maybe it's intensity for our training and maybe the demands on the pitch that he's got the skills but just can't hack his body. And I think in a slower game, goes back to Germany, he'll do well there. But I just think English football just doesn't count for him. So I think we have to cut our losses and just say, look, it's not worked out with all of them. And just say, look, thank you.
Hot take of the day.
Well, it's funny because you guys just kind of talked me into this. Like now I'm thinking that when you think about next season, that Curtis Jones is probably going to be our is probably going to be our first choice center midfielder off the bench. Because when you think about it, it'll probably be Thiago, Fabinho, and Henderson in the midfield. And if Klopp can no longer continue to rely on Keita and Ox, Jones is going to be that guy to step in. And when you think about it that way, I'm almost very happy that he's getting these minutes now because we're going to need him next year. If all this stuff continues to go this way, we're going to need a big performance out of him next year and a big jump.
But do you not think that Jones has already kind of cemented his place in this, senior squad? Every time he's played for us, it's like he's never not been there. No, he's not at the standard of the rest of the team just yet because he has come up from the academy and it takes, a little bit of time to acclimate to it. But for someone who's so young, I get Trent vibes from him.
Yeah.
He makes these little mistakes, but he just doesn't give up. And I don't know whether it's me being biased and being like, oh, it's the scouts that's in the team type thing. It means a little bit more. But something about the way he plays, I just get massive Trent vibes from him. And I said it yesterday and I'll say it again. That kid is going to go right into this team. And one day, Trent will be captain. And I've got no doubt that he'll probably be vice captain underneath him.
Because definitely.
That mentality is in that kid. And the way he plays, I just think he's special. And
he definitely has a swagger. He definitely has a swagger to him. And I love it so much. He's he's not afraid either. He goes into challenges. He'll go up against any midfielder that he goes up against. He's great.
He's not asked. Let's be honest. At the end of the day, he's not asked. He doesn't care if you're, Jamie Vardy. He doesn't care if you're Aubameyang. He doesn't care if you're Werner and you cost the most in the Premier League. He doesn't care. He's going to go at you like you're his mate in a five-a-side on a Sunday league. He doesn't give a crap, and I love it.
I think he was chirping James Maddison in the game too. I think he put in a challenge or something, and Maddison went down pretty easy, and he kind of said something to him while Maddison was on the ground.
He took 2 people down.
I
remember taking 2 people down. The second time, he just kind of looked back, scoffed, and went, "Get up."
That was Maddison.
Like, come on, get up.
There's a bit in that first half where he took the ball off Vardy, who tried to break. He did a recovery challenge on Vardy. He just took the ball off him. I thought that was.
I think I saw. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. He was outstanding yesterday. I can't take away from the lad from that. He was outstanding. I thought Williams did well when he came in as well.
I think he's good. I mean, I know I said this last time. He needs game time, and I stand by what I said. He does need that time, but I feel like the minute he came on and Milner went to midfield, Milner was fantastic, even better when he went to midfield. But I feel like Leicester used that opportunity to try and target down that side again, and he needed a lot of support still from Firmino and Milner backtracking. He needed that extra support there because he did make mistakes, and I know he's going to. But I do like Neco, and I think he played really well considering. But I just don't think he's ready just yet, though. He's still not there, is he?
Positional is. I think positional is his issue. I know where to hold himself and when to go forward and stuff.
It's reading the game. He's not quite competent at reading the game quite clearly enough. He makes hasty decisions and he makes runs when he should really hold back. He makes challenges when he should stay with them. And I think that comes with time, to be honest, though, wouldn't it?
There is. The only issue is with, maybe this season with the injuries, but is he going to get that much game time enough to really hone that this season?
No.
I don't know about this season, but he's still young. I mean, Trent was young for a while, and he definitely made some mistakes. He had more of the fortune though that he was actually getting some playing time. Who was behind him? Nathaniel Klein, who was injured for like 3 years.
Yeah, Trent had the Rashford period where he got done, and that made him a man.
Let's not bring that up again. Let's not bring this up.
Yeah,
they made him a man though.
That's a great move. That's a great move by Rashford.
One, and then he learned very quickly from that, didn't he?
Yeah, he learned from that. Came back and was outstanding.
Yeah,
but then I mean, not only do we thrash these guys, but this was a big weekend for us, especially with the other results. I mean, Tottenham, destroying City 2-0. And I shouldn't say destroyed them, but Mourinho tactics 100% worked to a T, getting a 2-0 victory there. How big was that win for us against Leicester? Because we're really now when you look at the table, it's really Chelsea and Tottenham.
I'll go for this one. I think it was huge because, as we said before, we were written off big time going into that game. Everyone, so many rivals in the media were saying that's going to be like Leicester going to smash us 2-3-0. I think Daily Mail had an article saying Leicester are the team to pummel Liverpool's defence because we have makeshift defence. Nonsense, rubbish. So for us, it was significant to show that we are still the team to beat. We're still miles above anyone else in the league. We're missing 6 first teamers. If that was United, Spurs, or City, they'd be battling mid-table. There's matter injuries. So it was significant to show that Leicester again, as we saw in Boxing Day, they thought they can compete with us, and they're not on our level. So that's Leicester out, Everton, Villa, who are all claimed to be title contenders. A joke. And the thing for me is that look, if it wasn't for VAR screwing us over against Everton, we'd be top, 2 points clear. So Tottenham got Chelsea this weekend. They're going to cancel each other out because Tottenham got an awful record at Stamford Bridge.
But they tied 0-0.
Yeah, we're going to go 2 points clear at the top of the table because we've got Brighton will beat them. So normality will go back to normal. We'll be clear. So for me, this is significant to show that we're the team to beat, and we're going to further our lead as the weeks go by because of the games that Chelsea and Tottenham have, and we're going to go start taking a command of this title.
Yeah. Completely agree with you there. Like it was a massive win. I think, like I said earlier, with all the doubting that we had, and in the press, actual own Liverpool fans, were sat there going, "Nah, we're not going to do this." Like they sort of went back to that doubters mentality that we used to have, like in 2015, 16, and everyone will tell you. Anyone who knows me knows that I love Virgil, and I think he was the best thing that ever came to our team. That was a doubt. But I'm finding the longer we go without him, the less I miss him. Because the more I realise that he was the fix that came to our defence, but our defence don't need fixing in that way anymore. It's integrated into those lads, and they've stepped up. And I think that showed that, everyone always says, "Oh, Liverpool are a Virgil or a Salah injury or an Alisson injury away from being, bottom table relegation." Well, we've lost Alisson, and we played with Adrian, who caught someone's head instead of the football. We've played without Virgil. We've played with two of our midfielders in defence. We're playing without our right back. We're playing with injuries left, right, and centre. Our midfield is a little bit dicey with who's injured and who's not. And we're still absolutely saying to everyone, what have you got? You've thrown everything you said would destroy us, and we're still joint top of the league.
But Sophie, you have to admit, though, when you heard that Virgil van Dijk was involved in some light training after surgery, you definitely missed him a little bit.
Oh no, don't get me wrong. Like I miss
all the fields came back.
I'm wearing my Virgil shirt today because I miss him. But I love that man, and I love him so much. He's everything to me, and I do miss him. But I was always under that impression that the minute Virgil got injured, our team would be a shambles. And I'm sat here going, well, actually, we're doing better defensively than we were before Virgil got injured.
It's true.
Well, I think that also goes. I think that tells us two things. Is one, how these players that we have are absolute mentality monsters. I mean, this just confirms it even further. But two is that I think Jurgen Klopp is the best manager in the world. I mean, when you look at Manchester City last year and maybe even the year before when Laporte went out, last year they weren't even close to us. And they blamed it all on not having one center back in their squad. You lose the title by 18 points. Jurgen Klopp doesn't have Trent Alexander-Arnold, Virgil van Dijk, Mo Salah. You can go down the list.
Gomez,
Alisson. Yeah, we can keep going. You can name each player. And the job that he has done, that he and his staff have done, is just absolutely amazing. And that's without the greatest fan base in the world. So they're doing something right over there.
Yeah, definitely.
We're gonna have fans soon. They're saying. Hopefully.
Yeah, I heard that's great. But is Liverpool a critical area?
Yeah, we're tier 3.
Oh, damn.
Because we're Labour and we're not Tories, and that's why.
There you go.
I'm sorry, but there's no way that you can tell. Oh, no, I'm not getting into it. No, I'm sorry.
No politics on this show. No politics on this show.
I went to say something, and then I was like, nah, you'll start off a rant, so shut up.
This is the Yanks of the Cup. We have Republicans and Democrats here. So.
Just as big of a problem.
Right.
Yeah, just as big of a problem. But all right, let's close it out with man of the matches. So, start with you. Who you have for man of the match?
Oh, Milner.
Really?
I was thinking of this earlier before we came on. I was torn between Jota and Milner. But I think you've got to give credit where credit's due. He's 34. He was playing right back, which is, he's not, the person he's covering, Trent's not easy to cover. You said, Wahomey, and I'm going to find this clip and send it to you. And I'm going to find it. He can't keep up with Vardy. He's too slow. He absolutely bossed that right back. He blocked everyone out. And then when he went into midfield, it was like it was his territory. And, that pass to Mane and the corners, that everything was perfect for me with Milner. And I just think he was man of the match the way from start to finish.
Good choice. What do you got, Wahomey?
It's hard because everyone, you could say you can go for everyone being man of the match because of that.
Yeah,
good.
it's tough.
Yeah,
that's what's nice about this one. You can't have a wrong answer.
Yeah, it's tough. We're gonna go with Sophie. I think she's right. Milner was outstanding.
He's not going against me this week, are you?
Yeah, exactly. He's trying to make up for it.
For me, it would have been between him and Firmino. because I think Fabinho was outstanding in terms of like blocking every block, headings, clearing everything. But I think Milner, because of the fact that he set the standard. Even when people were like out of position, you could hear him barking orders, saying, instructing people. He slotted into midfield, still maintained his high level. I'd go with Milner as man of the match because I think he was outstanding. And his age to be able to do that still, you have to take your hat off and say, like, fantastic, best free transfer the last 10 years.
I'll try to be a little different here. I was going to go Milner, but since two of our guys already went with Milner, I'm going to go with Andy Robertson. I mean, he was absolutely phenomenal on that left side. That beautiful assist to Jota, that was an unbelievable goal to witness. I mean, just the switch of play from Jones, the touch, everything was just fantastic. But it's funny. I was looking around at a lot of the players. They would do a close up of Fabinho, they would do a close up of Robertson. You think, like, who's the best player on this team? I don't know who it is. Is it Andy Robertson? Is it Mo Salah? Is it Sadio Mane? Is it Alisson? Is it Van Dijk? It's just, there's so many top class individuals on this team, and when they all come together, we get one of the best teams in the world.
All good choices. And yeah, for the sake of being different, I'm going to go with our man Bobby. I just thought his link-up play was absolutely tremendous. We love it. Bob's our baby. But man, his header too. We didn't really talk much about the actual goal he scored. That Beautiful. Was tremendous. Yeah, he elevated, snapped that header down, unsavable, beautiful. So happy for him, especially after 2 minutes earlier, all that stuff happened. He didn't get a goal. But honestly, I just thought his pressing was fantastic. He was winning the ball back, but just his creativity and his link-up play was stuff that we just haven't seen in a while and stuff that we've been craving for. And there was a lot of conversation going into it, like, who's going to play on the right side? Is it going to work? And it definitely worked. We wanted it to be a little bit more clinical, but still like an A- performance if you're going to rank it that way. But unbelievable. So I'm going to give it to Firmino. But I think all three guys we talked about were very deserving of the award. So.
Yeah, I think one last thing we probably say, we didn't say anything about Alisson. Like his again, like that sliding tackle he was so desperate for a clean sheet, like a madman.
Can we just talk about him rushing out quickly in front of Vardy, in front of goal, and giving absolutely no cares about the fact that he left his goal open. He just went in and was like, "No, my ball." Yeah. He just didn't care. At that
monster.
Point, he wanted that ball.
Beautiful bastard.
Oh, that gorgeous Brazilian man. That's because he announced his wife's having a third baby. That's what it was. He was on cloud 9. He was like, "Get that ball."
I can do anything. He's got that third kid of dad strength now. It keeps elevating. The more kids you have.
3 goals, 1 for each baby.
What's that?
3 goals, 1 for each baby.
Yeah, there we go. Exactly. Team was behind him. So, yeah, but that pretty much wraps up this episode of Yanks of the Cop. We'll actually be quick turnaround. We'll be back for the pre-match for Atalanta tomorrow. But if you haven't already, go hit that like and subscribe button. We really appreciate it. And Sophie, thanks again for joining us. Can't wait to do it again.
No worries. I'll see you next week for Atlanta.
All right, everyone. Up the Reds. We'll see you next time.
Reds.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.